So what's going to happen with him? That's my question.
So here's the biggest problem.
I hope he rots in hell, starting with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Meghan MCCain decided to run her mouth on another topic that she was wrong about. She was talking about the Julian Assange arrest. If you're not aware of what happened with that, Julian Assange, the co-founder of Wikileaks, was arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy in London on Thursday morning. So The View decided to cover that topic. And Sunny Hostin, I'll say Hostin for now, another co-host on The View and a legal analyst for ABC. She's also a lawyer. Decided to just completely shut down Meghan MCCain and her entire argument. And Meghan MCCain's stance was basically that Julian Assange should rot in hell and that he's a cyber terrorist. And obviously, Sunny Hostin had a much more nuanced and fact-based argument about what should happen with Julian Assange and what is wrong with his arrest. So let's go to the video and I'll talk more about it.
Obama and Holder could have done that the year before, and they punted it. So that's where I get confused, is where you hear from Trump praising the guy, and then under his administration, they're the ones that actually prosecuted him.
The politics of this have always been completely hypocritical on both sides. Eric Holder, under Obama, decided against pursuing persecution of Assange, of concerns that WikiLeaks was, quote, a journalistic organization that would raise First Amendment issues. Chelsea Manning was granted clemency. Chelsea Manning in 2010 released 750,000 classified and sensitive military documents that put our national security at risk. Under the Obama administration, she was given clemency. This is something that a lot of people who put national security at first, I put myself in that category, have been warning about and warning about and warning about. And the only time the Democrats started caring is when it started affecting them politically, and Hillary Clinton's emails were released, and John Podesta's emails were released.
Does
and
anybody,
I, for one,
so what's going to happen with him? That's my
question.
So
here's the biggest problem.
I hope he rots in hell, starting with that.
Well,
can I weigh in?
Go ahead.
You know, I think that if you have a problem with Julian Assange and what he released in terms of national security, then you need to have a problem with the Pentagon Papers. You need to have a problem with the Panama Papers. You need to have a problem with the Iraq and Afghanistan war logs being released, because those items being released, I think, protected our democracy. And the reason that the Obama administration and Eric Holder decided not to punt, but decided that our Constitution protected Julian Assange is because our Constitution does protect Julian Assange. Because our Constitution...
I'm sorry, I got to push back hard on this.
You can push back after I'm finished speaking. The Constitution protects freedom of the press. It is our First Amendment to the Constitution, because I believe it's our most important amendment. So it is very clear that the Constitution protects information, investigative journalism, even if that information is gotten illegally, even if that information is a matter of national security.
So yeah, there's still a little bit more coming up in this clip. Meghan MCCain, at this point, she's obviously just completely wrong, and she's getting stomped out in the argument by Sunny Hostin. So now she's just going to do the typical Meghan MCCain thing and be a spoiled brat and throw a tantrum and just start kind of yelling. So we'll have her flailing out for you in a second. But yeah, just on what Sunny Hostin was saying, everything that Julian Assange did should be protected by the Constitution. And I know the U.S. government is going to try and make the case that it's not. And a lot of establishment figures have been trying to make the case that it's not. Like Hillary Clinton kind of came out against Julian Assange. Obviously, she just hates him because of the email hacks. She tries to portray him as just some partisan actor for Russia and Republicans. So, but he still did a great journalistic effort and uncovered corruption, and he uncovered wrongdoing by the U.S. government, and that deserves to be exposed to the American public. So, yes, what he did, and even though it was obtained illegally by Chelsea Manning, that's still protected under the Constitution. So it's all stuff that protects our democracy. It's all stuff that the American public deserves to hear. And Sunny Hostin is correct that it should be covered by the Constitution and it should be fully protected. And the fact that we're trying to undermine that right now goes completely against the First Amendment. But here's Meghan MCCain making more of a fool out of herself.
Okay. I think what you said was just straight propaganda, just so we're clear. I'm sorry.
If the law is propaganda,
I'm sorry. It is
then
not,
I'm sorry.
They're not First Amendment. He was a cyber terrorist from day one, which is how we got in the situation we're in right now. You released 750,000 classified or sensitive information that put our military at risk, that put our spies at risk, that put our diplomats at risk. And I'm sorry, but Democrats only started caring once it started implicating Hillary Clinton. And I am very consistent on this issue for years. And again, I'm glad Ecuador.
But can I point out
It is always fun to watch Meghan McCain embarrass herself. So yeah, she got completely hammered back by Sonny Hostin on that. Sonny Hostin is completely correct on this entire thing, and obviously Meghan McCain is completely off base. The fact that Meghan McCain tries to go at it from the cyber terrorist perspective, that he's a cyber terrorist, not a journalist, which is complete. First off, that's wrong. He is a journalist, and he's uncovered more than most journalists do in their entire lives. So, second, I don't even care what Meghan McCain's definition of being a journalist is. She's clearly not one, and she has no right to say which person is one and which person isn't one. So that point is completely moot for Meghan McCain. She's completely off base on that. And then also the fact that she's trying to say she's all about national security first. But what does that mean? So anything that anybody leaks or exposes about our government in terms of wrongdoing that involves national security or foreign affairs in some way, now all of a sudden they just deserve to be arrested and they deserve to rot in hell because of that. It's just a terrible, terrible argument. It doesn't make any sense, and it basically is saying that she just doesn't believe in whistleblowers. Because if you believed in whistleblowers and journalists doing their job, then you would believe in getting these leaks and holding the people in power accountable and holding the U.S. government accountable, not this fake outrage over national security and that Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange are somehow endangering American citizens by releasing this material when they're actually enlightening American citizens. So Glenn Greenwald had a good tweet on this journalist part of it real quick. Let me just pull that up for you. So Glenn Greenwald went on to say, when you see professional media figures decreeing, quote, Julian Assange is not a journalist, compare how much corruption and criminality by the world's most powerful factions they've exposed in their work to how much Assange has exposed. That contrast will tell you all you need to know. So obviously Glenn Greenwald hit the nail on the head with that tweet. He also goes on to say, also the question, quote, is X a journalist, as though it's a credentialed licensed status like being a doctor or a lawyer, is deceitful. The First Amendment's press freedom protects an activity available to everyone, not just a designated priesthood called, quote, journalists. So Glenn Greenwald hit the nail right on the head with everything he just said there. He's completely correct about that, and I agree 100% with what he's saying. Not only is Julian Assange a better journalist than almost every other journalist, but it doesn't even matter if you say he's not a journalist, because he still has the right to be able to do that and leak expose this information and expose this wrongdoing. So whether Meghan McCain thinks he's a journalist or not, which really who cares about Meghan McCain's opinion in the first place, it doesn't even matter, because whether he's a journalist or you think whatever he is, he still has a right to be able to expose that information. And whether it's illegal or not, the fact that he's exposing information that is important to our democracy and important to the American public is completely protected under the Constitution. And I know the U.S. government is going to try and undermine that. And Meghan McCain apparently is going to try and undermine that. Hillary Clinton had some very questionable comments saying that Julian Assange has to answer for what he's done. And obviously he's not going to get any defense from Hillary Clinton, which just shows how terrible of a leader Hillary Clinton really is and how much of an out-of-touch, establishment, biased, corrupt person Hillary Clinton is, that somebody exposes her corruption and she just completely turns on them, where if they exposed Trump's corruption, then Hillary Clinton would have said that's good that we have that corruption exposed, and that Julian Assange, she would have probably said that he should be commended in some way for exposing this corruption and that people in power need to be held accountable. But then when she's the person in power that needs to be held accountable, all of a sudden, then you need to be held accountable. So that shows you everything you know about how flip-floppy and unprincipled Hillary Clinton is. And obviously Meghan McCain is just a far dumber version of that. She is just the even more spoiled and even more airheaded version of that, where she just kind of babbles and throws a tantrum if she doesn't like somebody and she doesn't like what they said. So the fact that she's trying to come after Julian Assange, saying that he should be arrested and that he should rot in hell, when her father was basically like the flagship guy for American imperialism and starting regime change wars in other countries, and he never met a war that he didn't like. And there's hundreds of thousands of civilians dying partially because of decisions that her father had campaigned for and spoke out for and voted for, then she has no right to say that anybody else deserves to rot in hell. And Meghan MCCain, she's an idiot. She'll continue to be an idiot. And I'm also disappointed in the View audience for when she said that Julian Assange should rot in hell, that they clapped. Not all of them, but some of them did clap. And I think that's terrible as well. This Julian Assange topic is very, very important. And it is crucial to the First Amendment and freedom of the press. So the fact that somebody's laughing or clapping about somebody saying that a journalist who did their job and exposed wrongdoing by the U.S. government should rot in hell, and you get an applause from that? No. They should do better. Meghan MCCain can't do better because she's just too stupid to even do any better. And she's going to continually get dunked on by more guests and more hosts on The View, and that's going to be the whole reason that she even stays there, because people love to see Meghan MCCain get made look like an idiot every single time that she goes on there and covers any kind of even remotely controversial or nuanced topic. So yes, free Julian Assange. What is going on right now is terribly wrong, and it threatens everything that goes on with our First Amendment and our freedom of the press. And we need to be vocal about our opposition to the arrest of Julian Assange. We need to be vocal in our opposition to the indictment of Julian Assange. And we need to continuously stay diligent on that, because this isn't a small issue. Some people are making it out to seem like, oh, well, it's just an isolated thing, and now we got Julian Assange, and he deserves to pay for what he did. And I've even seen some people say that he's just a partisan actor, he's not a journalist, and somehow that justifies it. They're like, well, he was just doing this stuff for Russia and the Trump campaign, so he had a partisan horse in a race for what he was trying to do, so he's not a journalist. Since when does that make you not a journalist? We have a whole station on Fox News of supposed journalists that are basically just spewing propaganda all day for a partisan reason. So the fact that you're going to say all of a sudden, no, he's not a journalist just because he had interest in what he was doing and he had a certain side that he took. No, that's not going to happen. And that doesn't negate any of the importance of what he did leak. So Julian Assange is a hero for what he did. He deserves to be freed. There is no reason he should be indicted for what they're trying to indict him for. And Meghan MCCain is just a flat out of touch moron.
Thank you for watching that clip of Plutocracy today. If you are not a subscriber yet to the channel, I would highly recommend going down below and hitting the subscribe button. Also hit the bell so that way you're notified anytime I put up a new video. And also, if you would like to donate to the show, I'm fully running off of audience support at the moment. So if you could just go to Venmo at SeanCassella, that's SeanCassella, and you can donate anything you want there. It could be $1, could be $10, could be 2 cents. Whatever you can donate, I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to be talking to you all soon.